Today in the battle arena, well, we've got two of the most powerful characters in all of comics. Superman Prime 1 Million, the Golden Superman, is going up against none other than King Thanos. So who's coming out on top here? Let's find out. The Superman of the 853rd century is actually the same Superman from post-Crisis, having survived by becoming essentially the living extension of the sun. He left the Earth somewhere in the late 21st century when everyone he cared about died, and went on to traverse across the entire DCU, going beyond time and space. He's even said to have reached as far as heaven and hell themselves. Under the effects of a yellow sun, Superman Prime has all of the same powers as the average Kryptonian, albeit these powers are heightened to a nearly unprecedented degree, meaning that Clark obviously has superhuman strength. He's essentially invulnerable and can take any attack that comes his way, can defy the forces of gravity and fly, and he's also got the ability to move at incredible speeds, essentially by sheer force of will. Superman Prime's vision processes the entire electromagnetic spectrum. He can hear any sound at any volume or any pitch, and he can also fire beams of intense heat and energy just by looking at a guy. In short, Superman Prime 1 Million is essentially Superman from post-Crisis after having gone through a 15,000-year sun dip, increasing his powers and abilities to essentially immeasurable levels, even being able to dwarf someone like Cal Kent, who is more powerful than a gravitational pull of a collapsing star, faster than a speeding tachyon, is able to hold back a galaxy with his force vision. So, that's what we got in one corner. One of the most powerful versions of Superman ever, Superman Prime 1 Million. But entering the ring in the other corner was one of the most powerful versions of Thanos ever, King Thanos. As time went by, the heroes of Earth grew old and weak, but Thanos only grew stronger. His eternal quest to please death led him to kill almost every living thing in the known galaxy. And thus, Thanos became the king of what remained in his wake. Nothing. Old King Thanos is kinda crazy when it comes to power levels, and just the massive upgrade that he went through. Because he started off as Thanos, the guy who could beat the Avengers but would lose to Odin or Galactus, to becoming easily one of the most powerful beings in the universe. King Thanos is strong enough to kill Namor, the X-Men, Captain America, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and even Maestro, and he ripped Iron Man in half like he was the easiest thing in the world. Not only that, but Thanos actually impaled Silver Surfer with the Twilight Sword. This is a surfer who not only possessed the power cosmic, but also worthy to wield Mjolnir, had the power of Thor. He was durable enough to take direct hits from Silver Surfer with Mjolnir, punches from God Quarry Thanos, and God Quarry Thanos has proven himself to be equal to Phoenix Force Thane and casually destroyed planets. King Thanos also managed to kill King Thor with an energy blast, kill the Hulk with an energy blast, and even took off Galactus' head with a single shot. Then to top it all off, King Thanos has killed several gods, the Watcher, Master Hate, the Celestials, and even the Living Tribunal. Although, to be fair, we don't necessarily know how he did it. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now today in the battle arena, we've got two of the most powerful guys in comics going head to head. An amped version of Thanos going up against an amped version of Superman. Superman Prime 1 Million is going up against King Thanos. So who's coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. And first things first, before we actually get into the fight itself, well, I want to talk about Superman for a bit. Because there are just so many misconceptions floating around this golden god that you kind of gotta cut through the smoke and find the truth about how powerful he really is. Okay, so talking about Superman Prime 1 million, it's been said that he recreated Lois Lane, giving her a new, powerful, and godlike body. Well, this isn't true, considering the comic itself said that a fifth dimensional imp was the one to use a sample of Lois Lane's DNA to recreate her, alongside Superman. He couldn't have done it on his own. There's also a claim that he created his own universe. But that mostly just comes from the fact that Superman said, "Welcome to my universe." It in no way means that he created his own universe in really any shape or form. In the scene, Superman Prime 1 million was talking to Adam, who had just passed through an interdimensional bridge from a separate universe that had been destroyed. All Clark was doing here was being polite and doing what his parents taught him down on the Kent farm, to welcome and greet newcomers. It's also been said that Superman Prime 1 million is able to bring back the planet Krypton and resurrect all of its inhabitants. Well, that's not true either. In that scenario, Kyle Rayner, the narrator for the story, was referring to what the Justice League, more specifically Our Man, did for Clark. I mean, it says it right there, how others brought back Krypton for him. So what about the claim that he has the reality warping powers of a fifth dimensional imp? The basis behind this is the fact that a far-off future descendant of Superman, Purple Superman from the 67th century, married the Queen of the Fifth Dimension, and somehow this is supposed to equate to Superman Prime 1 million having the powers of the Fifth Dimension as well. And honestly, that just makes no sense, because Superman Prime 1 million is actually our post-crisis Superman, alive in the 853rd century, having spent 15,000 years inside the sun. There's no reason to explain how Superman could get fifth dimensional powers in retrospect because someone in the future married the Queen of the Fifth Dimension. So what about the idea that Superman Prime 1 million was so powerful that he entered the Source Wall and came back with godlike powers? Well, the comic never actually said that. It said that he looked like one who had gone so far as to crash the gates of heaven, and still not found that for which he searched. And the Source Wall and the gates of heaven are two separate and distinct things in the DC universe, have never been equated or one swapped out for the other. Plus the phrasing of "he looked like one who had gone so far as to crash the gates of heaven," the look on Superman's face, really seems to describe Superman's facial expression. It might just be more figurative language than anything else. And there's the final claim, that he was able to easily defeat the mighty Solaris, a sentient and artificial sun. Well, just like all other claims we've seen here, it's not exactly true. In the battle, Solaris was fighting against the Justice Legion Alpha, Justice League, another heroes from the 853rd century, in an epic showdown. As the battle went on, Kyle Rayner was inside of Solaris and told to the League that he's got to increase the mass of Solaris, destabilizing his core and making the sun go supernova. Kyle did this, Solaris was blown up, and him and Cal Kent, Superman 1 million, contained the blast. So at this point, Solaris was defeated and near dead. And it was at this point that Superman Prime 1 million came out of the sun with his Green Lantern ring to finish off the essentially already defeated Solaris. Now don't worry, Superman Prime 1 million is still incredibly powerful, nearly incalculably powerful, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to talk about King Thanos for a little bit. And right off the bat, the reason that King Thanos is so powerful is because he's empowered by the God Quarry, which is described as a grave for the gods of old, where their unimaginable power still lingers for the taking. And Thanos took it. This is the source of old King Thanos' now limitless power. When he was first starting out and attacked the Avengers, while he was strong enough to rip Iron Man in half, he killed Namor, the X-Men, the Guardians, Captain America, and Maestro. He stabbed right through the Black Surfer with his Twilight Sword, which was Silver Surfer and powered by Mjolnir and backed by the Annihilation Wave. He's taken multiple punches from God Quarry Thanos, multiple attacks from Black Surfer with Mjolnir, then with Thanos' energy attacks, he's killed old King Thor. He killed the Hulk, blasted away Thanos, and took off Galactus' head with one single shot. And then while we didn't see it on screen, somehow Thanos was able to kill Surtur and take his Twilight Sword, kill Master Hate, kill Watcher, kill several other gods, and even kill the Living Tribunal. And we do know how Thanos defeated the Celestials, by using Black Bolt. It's also worth noting that Thanos survived that attack. So yeah, Thanos is undeniably powerful. One of the most powerful characters in all of Marvel. But Superman Prime is undeniably powerful as well. Like we said, this is post-crisis Superman who's been in the sun for 15,000 years. So that begs the question, how powerful is Superman after just an average sun dip? Well, during the Our Worlds at War storyline, in a desperate last-ditch effort to stop Brainiac 13 from altering the universe and reshaping it in his image, Clark went to the heart of the sun for roughly 15 minutes in order to get as much energy as possible in an attempt to destroy Brainiac's war world. After Superman absorbed all the solar energy he could, he stepped out of the sun and plowed his way through the Imperic's prime amped war world and destroyed Brainiac 13's body with a single strike. He was able to overpower and throw the war world into an infinitesimal frozen point of time. While Brainiac was frozen in time, Superman was able to casually move around like nothing had happened. So if that was only a few minutes in the sun, take that and add on another 15,000 years. That's how much power Superman Prime 1,000,000 is packing with this fight. He's been referred to before as the most powerful metahuman in the DC universe. And has definitely backed this up, as he even dwarfs people like Cal Kent, Superman 1,000,000, who's more powerful than the gravitational pull of a collapsing star, faster than a speeding tachyon. He's able to hold back a galaxy with his force vision. Basically, this version of Superman was intended to be the be-all, end-all Superman of Grant Morrison's vision. While we as the reader only get a few hints of what he's capable of, Superman's power is obviously intended to be unimaginable. But the final question is, who's more powerful? This amped version of Thanos or an amped version of Superman? Well, I think it's gotta be King Thanos. A lot about each character is left unsaid and unspoken, but I cannot believe that Superman Prime was amped by the sun to be more powerful than the Living Tribunal. I find it hard to believe that he was amped to be more powerful than Galactus or Celestials. Now granted, that is somewhat believable. I think he could be on that power level, but the Living Tribunal? No way. And yet King Thanos was able to go in there and kill all of them. No, we don't know how he killed some of them, but we know that he took them down. And compared to Superman Prime 1,000,000, who's almost a blank slate in comparison, well, that's good enough for me. King Thanos is one of the most powerful villains in not just Marvel, but all of comics. And I think he could take down Superman Prime 1,000,000. It would be an amazing fight. It would be an epic fight. But I think King Thanos wins it. King Thanos is coming out on top here. King Thanos wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to like button, subscribe button, and turn notifications, join the DanCo army, and I will see y'all next time.